Imagine beginning not with atoms, nor with stars, nor with galaxies, but with a question. What if the universe is not made of matter, but of messages? For centuries we have understood reality as a physical stage built from particles, forces, and fields. But modern physics suggests a deeper layer beneath all of this. A hidden architecture where information, not matter, is the true foundation. Every electron carries a quantum state, a tiny packet of information. Every photon carries a history of where it has been and what it has interacted with. Every law of physics is a set of encoded rules like the operating system of reality. In this view, the universe becomes not a collection of objects, but a vast cosmic message, a self-updating database where matter is simply the hardware and information is the software. The fabric of space-time behaves like a computational grid. Particles act like bits that flip according to precise rules, and energy, structure, and motion arise as the interface through which we observe this hidden code. This idea doesn't reduce the beauty of the cosmos, it deepens it. It means galaxies are not just islands of stars but patterns. Life is not just chemistry but encoded order. Consciousness is not just neurons but information processing. And we, observers within the system, are both reading the cosmic code and made from it ourselves. Reality becomes a message deciphering itself. John Archibald Wheeler, student of Einstein, mentor of generations of theoretical physicists, offered one of the most radical ideas in modern science: it from bit. In this simple phrase lies a profound shift. Everything we call physical arises from something non-physical, information. Wheeler proposed that the universe is not built from matter or energy at its most fundamental level, but from yes/no decisions, binary outcomes, quantum choices. A particle's position, a photon's path, a field's value, none of these exist in a definite form until an interaction forces the system to choose. In other words, the universe behaves like a grand informational engine where events are not recorded, they are created by the act of measurement itself. To Wheeler, observation is not passive. Measurement is not a camera freezing reality, it is a key turning in a lock, generating reality's next state. Every time a photon strikes a detector, every time a quantum state collapses, every time we choose one path out of many, a new bit of reality is written into existence. This transforms the universe from a static stage into a dynamic computation. Reality is not simply happening, it is being processed moment by moment. The cosmos becomes a self-assembling tapestry woven from informational threads, where physical laws act like algorithms and matter itself is the emergent form of deeper informational rules. Galaxies, stars, atoms, all of them appear not as primary objects, but as stable patterns within an unimaginably vast informational flow. Structure arises from code. Existence emerges from choice. And the physical world we touch is the visible shadow of an invisible logic operating beneath everything. At the quantum level, reality behaves less like a physical object and more like a whispered code. A particle is not simply here or there, nor does it possess a single velocity or energy. Instead, it exists as a superposition, a cloud of possibilities, all true at once, held together by its wave function. This strange, delicate state collapses into a single outcome only when observed. And that collapse is not just a measurement, it is information being processed. The universe evaluates the available possibilities and commits to one, turning the abstract wave of probabilities into a concrete fact. Each quantum event is a computation. Each interaction writes a new bit into the cosmic memory. Quantum systems store, transmit, and transform information in uniquely powerful ways. A photon can hold multiple states simultaneously. An electron spin can encode a qubit, a unit of quantum information that is both 0 and 1 at the same time. Entire particles can become entangled, their states linked instantaneously across vast distances, as if sharing a hidden channel beyond space. Quantum teleportation shows that information, not matter, is the true thing being transferred. These features suggest that the deep structure of the universe might not be built from particles but from relationships, encoded in entanglement patterns and wave functions. It is as though reality speaks in a language we are only beginning to decipher, a language where probability waves carry meaning, and where the fabric of existence itself operates like a quantum network. If matter is the story, then quantum information is the grammar crafting every chapter. This isn't a metaphor. In modern theories of quantum gravity, quantum information may actually generate space-time itself. Distances, geometry, even causality may arise from the way quantum systems store and share information. In this view, reality is a conversation. one that began long before stars existed and will continue long after they fade. Black holes are the most mysterious libraries in the universe, places where matter, light, and even spacetime itself fall inward and never return. But the greatest mystery is not what they swallow. It is what happens to the information about everything they consume. In classical physics, information should never be destroyed. If you burn a book, every letter still exists somewhere in the rearranged particles of smoke and ash. But when something crosses a black hole's event horizon, it seems to vanish with no trace, erased from existence. This contradiction is known as the black hole information paradox, and it has challenged physicists for decades. Stephen Hawking originally proposed that information truly disappears. According to his early calculations, a black hole emits Hawking radiation that is completely random, carrying no imprint of what fell inside. If the black hole evaporates fully, the encoded details of everything it consumed appear to be lost forever. But this violates the fundamental rule of quantum mechanics. Information must always be preserved. Modern theories suggest a different, far more elegant solution. Quantum physics implies that the event horizon, the boundary of the black hole, acts like a vast holographic screen. Every particle, every photon, every quantum state that enters the black hole becomes encoded as subtle fluctuations on this surface. The object is gone, but its information remains, stored as a two-dimensional pattern woven into the trembling fabric of the horizon. In this picture, a black hole does not erase information, it compresses it. The universe keeps a backup. This leads to an astonishing idea. The three-dimensional interior of a black hole might be a hologram generated from the information on its surface. Space itself, not just inside black holes but everywhere, could be encoded in the same way. The holographic principle suggests that the entire universe is a projection of deeper, two-dimensional information. In the end, black holes do not violate physics. They reveal its deepest truth. Information is the most fundamental quantity in existence. Entropy is often described as disorder, but this is only the surface of its meaning. At its core, entropy is a measure of information, the amount of data required to describe the possible states of a system. A cup of hot gas has high entropy because its particles can arrange themselves in countless ways. A crystal of ice has low entropy because its structure is rigid and predictable. The more possibilities a system contains, the more information the universe must store about it. This perspective unifies physics in a profound way. Every star, every cloud of gas, every living cell is part of a cosmic computation, where energy flows and entropy grows, encoding deeper layers of information. In thermodynamics, entropy determines the direction of time. Heat flows from hot to cold because there are more ways for particles to be disordered than ordered. In biology, the structure of DNA is a low-entropy archive that resists decay by constantly exchanging energy with the environment. Even human thought is an information process. Neurons fire, consume energy, and increase entropy while creating patterns we call ideas. Across all scales, from black holes to brains, energy, entropy, and information are inseparable. The universe evolves not just through matter, but through the constant reshaping of information fields. Every event is a transformation of structure. Energy becomes motion, motion becomes heat, heat becomes entropy, and entropy becomes information. In this sense, reality itself is the flow of information toward complexity, written in the language of thermodynamics. Entropy is not the enemy of order. It is the metric by which the universe measures possibility. The higher the entropy, the richer the informational tapestry required to describe what exists. We live in a cosmos where even chaos carries meaning. The holographic principle is one of the most astonishing ideas in modern theoretical physics. Proposed by physicist Gerard T. Hooft and later expanded by Juan Meldacena, it suggests that all the information contained within our three-dimensional universe may be fully encoded on a distant two-dimensional boundary. In other words, everything we perceive as volume, galaxies, stars, atoms, even the fabric of space itself, might be a projection of deeper informational structures inscribed on a cosmic horizon. This concept emerged from the study of black holes. When matter falls into a black hole, the information describing it does not disappear into the singularity. Instead, the black hole's surface area increases, not its volume. This revealed a profound truth. Information scales with surface, not space. If black holes store data holographically, perhaps the entire universe follows the same rule. Meldacena's breakthrough, the ADS/CFT correspondence, pushed this idea further. A complete, three-dimensional world with gravity can be mathematically equivalent to a two-dimensional world without gravity. One reality becomes a shadow, a projection, of the other. If this is true, then our existence is woven from encoded information unfolding inward from the edges of the cosmos. We are patterns written on a distant surface, rendered into 3D through the laws of physics. Matter, energy, and even space-time emerge from this informational blueprint. In this view, the universe is not simply a place. It is a decoding process, continuously reading and rewriting the data from which reality is generated. The holographic principle does not diminish our world, it deepens it. It suggests that behind the visible cosmos lies an elegant architecture of information, and everything we experience is a luminous projection of that hidden structure. If the universe is built from information, then consciousness is the mechanism that reads, interprets, and transforms that information into meaning. In this view, we are not passive observers but active participants in the unfolding of reality. Every moment of awareness, every perception, memory, or thought, represents an interaction with the cosmic code around us. Matter may form the structure of the world, but meaning is what brings the world into focus, and meaning is created by the mind. Consciousness does not simply record information, it reshapes it. When we observe a quantum system, its infinite possibilities collapse into one outcome. When we interpret sensory signals, raw data becomes experience, color, sound, emotion, understanding. In this way, consciousness acts as a bridge between the abstract informational fabric of the universe and the vivid, lived reality we inhabit. Some physicists and philosophers suggest that consciousness might even be woven into the foundation of the cosmos, a kind of interpretive engine that allows the universe to know itself. Without an interpreter, information remains inert, like a book never opened. But when consciousness engages with reality, data becomes story, structure becomes insight, and existence gains depth. If the holographic principle describes how information forms the universe, then consciousness may reveal why that information matters. It transforms the universe from a cold computational system into a place of purpose, meaning, and introspection. In this sense, reality is not merely matter. Reality is significance, shaped by the awareness that perceives it. As we think, reflect, and search for meaning, we become the universe contemplating its own code. Our minds trace patterns that mirror cosmic networks. Our thoughts ripple across the same physics that governs galaxies. Consciousness is not separate from the cosmos. It is an emergent layer of interpretation, turning information into experience. In the final reflection, the universe is no longer a passive stage where matter drifts through silence. It becomes a self-programming system, an engine that rewrites its own rules through the emergence of complexity, consciousness, and meaning. Every particle interaction, every quantum choice, every gravitational ripple is part of a vast computation that has been running since the first moment of time. And with the rise of observers, beings capable of interpreting information, the universe gains a new layer of evolution. It begins to learn from the very minds it creates. We are not outsiders looking in. We are nodes woven into the architecture of the cosmic algorithm. Our perceptions feed back into the system. Our interpretations give shape to data. Our curiosity pushes the boundaries of what the universe becomes aware of. In this sense, the universe programs us, and we, in turn, program the universe with every question we ask and every insight we produce. Meaning becomes the final substance of reality. Not matter, not energy, not even information alone, but the interpretation of that information, the awareness that gives it purpose. The universe writes itself through us, using consciousness as both pen and page, author and reader. I am not made of matter or light, but of meaning. Every atom is a letter. Every law a sentence. And you are my language. In this epilogue, reality becomes a dialogue between existence and awareness. A self-developing code that continues to evolve as long as there is something capable of understanding it.